Thanks, Aaron. I'm Brett Cast, and I'm here with Lieutenant Greg Frenger. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you, Brett?
Yeah, well, thank you for joining me. We're here to talk about emergency car kits for the winter, because obviously during the winter, there are a lot of people getting stuck, a lot of people getting in accidents. Can you talk about what the biggest danger is for winter driving?
Well, certainly if you get stuck off the road in a very remote area, you may be there for an extended period of time. But also if there's a major snow emergency, emergency crews and tow trucks and so forth may be tied up for hours on end. So you need to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. So a part of being prepared is bringing an emergency car kit like we talked about. We have a blanket here, we have jumper cables. What other necessities do you think you should have when you're going out during the winter?
Well, if you have a medical condition and you take medication, you'd want spare medication. If your vehicle is broken down and you're going to need to make repairs, certainly you would want to have appropriate cash or credit cards for that. Certainly a cell phone is wonderful for communication. Just obviously we don't want people driving while they're using those things. But having some basic items such as a blanket, some water, extra gloves, scarves. I'm sure a lot of us have clothes like that we don't wear on a regular basis, older items that we could package up and keep in our vehicle for the winter time. But blankets and definitely some water in case you need that. If you can find the space or find a small shovel, that's helpful. Cat litter is a good tool for traction. If you put it under your tires, if you've got your vehicle stuck. But anticipating being stuck for hours on end is a very real possibility if we have a major incident, say on a freeway, where you're basically stuck in your vehicle for an extended period.
Mm-hmm. And we've already kind of noticed it's already November and we've seen a lot of snow. Do you think this winter is going to be worse than most winters?
There's conflicting reports about that, but we always want folks prepared. And as the winter comes, with our cars, we want to make sure that we've changed the oil, battery's in good shape. If you check your spare before, most of us have probably never looked at our spare, but check your spare and check the pressure in your tires. Make sure it's appropriate. Because that can really affect not only your gas mileage, but whether or not you make it to your destination.
And also what we kind of talked about before this was that you should always alert people on where you're going exactly before you leave, just in case. I know now we have cell phones, but sometimes they die, sometimes they're not, you don't get reception. So how important is it to let people know where you're going and your route to get there?
Absolutely. If you're going to meet with family or you have an unscheduled trip that suddenly comes up, somebody should know when you're coming and going and when you anticipate being at your destination. And basically what your plan is to get there, what your route is, and how long you expect to travel.
Any other tips on safe driving through the ice or the snow this winter?
No, with our motor vehicles now, most are equipped with the anti-lock braking system. And the key to that is that you hold the brake down as hard as possible and allow the anti-lock brake system to work. But certainly if your wheels are locked and you're sliding, you're not going to be able to steer. And the anti-lock brakes will hopefully overcome that issue. But if they're not, you need to get off the brake and try and steer through or out of a potential collision. Speed is a factor in every collision, even if it's a slow speed. And so as you're making turns or getting to intersections, anticipate that you're going to slide. And most of the accidents that we handle in this area are collision accidents at intersections where someone slides into or is not paying attention and drives into the back of another vehicle. Very few accidents are actually in an intersection where you have collisions between two vehicles going different directions or side collisions. So just make sure your speed is under control. Make sure your following distance is increased significantly during the bad weather.
And talking about speed, I've kind of heard some going through driving school and whatnot, they always say when it's snowy or ice out, go 5 miles per hour under the speed limit. Is there a certain speed people should go about the speed limit, under the speed limit? How should people treat it during the weather?
Well, the speed limit is a guide, and certainly there's the legal part of that, but we've had people drive off the road in icy conditions at 10 miles, 15 miles an hour. And so if you don't want to be off the road, you need to drive the speed that is most appropriate. And we still can ticket people, even though they're using what they believe is all the caution in the world and driving very slow speeds when they have a collision. And so if you're not good at driving in these conditions, do what you can to avoid driving at all during that time.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that covers it.
All right, well, thank you very much. That's it for us. Back to you, Aaron.